So let's say you just drove through the flood.
Yes.
The following day, should I have a concern? Is there something I need to do?
Had you just spent this 10K, you'd have avoided the 100K in service.
Taximan asked me the other day, we had floods. If he had a hybrid, would it have struggled? Would he have had to replace the battery? You know, these are honest concerns.
You see, the thing is, even hybrid cars, nobody's...
Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching. And welcome to After the Drive, a show proudly brought to you by Croton Motors, your trusted car dealer. As you know, at Croton Motors, we are excited about giving you content pertaining to your automobile so you can make more informed decisions on your respective car journeys. My name is D-Man, and I'll be your host for today. And if you're new to this channel, kindly remember to subscribe because today's show is hot. We're going to be discussing trending issues. The fuel in your car, something has changed. Recently we had floods. What has that done to your car? What can we do in the event it happens again? Cost of fuel has gone up. At times you order a car, by the time it arrives at the yard, the price has changed. These are all issues that need to be discussed. So, grab a cup of coffee, cup of tea, whatever you fancy. Have a seat and enjoy the show. And I'm looking forward to seeing you towards the end. Welcome to After the Drive. And we are back, and we are joined today by none other than our car enthusiast, Bwana Kelvin. How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm happy to see you as well. Yeah.
It's Men's Mental Health Month. We normally have a blanket statement as men. I'm fine, but I would say out of 10, I'd give myself 7. As long as you score above 6 for me, is good. You're good to go.
Yeah.
You?
The life of a man.
Yes.
Yeah, so personally, I'm okay. I'm happy, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
I am comfortable under my skin. I can only be grateful.
Can be grateful.
Yes, can only be grateful.
And I see you're a car dad. You know, ladies say they are cat moms, dog moms. So we can say we are car dads. You're a car dad. Tell me about how is that experience? You got a machine.
Yeah, it's just a sports car.
Just.
Yeah, it's
Toyota.
It's just a Lexus.
Lexus. Just. Wow.
Anyway, it's a Lexus GS300.
Yeah.
I call it my man cave because when I feel stressed, I just take it for a drive. When I get back, I feel good.
Yeah, I
So,
noticed. I
yeah.
noticed the other day when you stopped, you opened your sunroof and I could see you're at home.
I mean-
You look like a king inside that. Ladies and gentlemen, please, especially gentlemen, take care of your mental health, all right? Yeah. Many of us are having issues we are dealing with, but be intentional. Take care of yourself. We need you alive, all right? So let's dive into it. Fuel. There's something about the fuel in my car. Yeah, maybe let's expound on that. What has changed with the fuel that I'm putting in my car?
Well, recently we had a scenario where we had high sulfur content fuel.
Yes.
All fuels normally contain an aspect of sulfur in them, both petrol and diesels.
Yes.
But what has been happening in the recent weeks is that we have had more than the required amounts of sulfur in the fuel.
Yeah.
These are scenarios that normally come by when we are facing a fuel crisis in the world, because it means there's some shortage.
Yeah.
So that means that fuel that is not very quality still finds its way. You see, people cannot access the quality fuel. So now whatever they find, let's work with that.
Let's work with that,
So
yeah.
while sulfuric fuel may not be exactly very harmful to petrol cars, it is very severe in diesel cars, especially modern diesel cars, because they come with a lot of modern fuel emission equipment and technologies.
Technologies, yes.
So what this sulfur is doing in these diesel cars, it's causing inherent problems. So these are not problems that you will notice in 1 week, probably not in 2 weeks, probably not even in a month, because it starts from the inside. It's like a cancer. You see the way cancer affects the body. So it's like a cancer in the engine. It starts from the inside. By the time it's on the outside, it's already too late.
So this is more people of diesel
Diesel
should
cars,
have a higher concern.
Correct.
Even people of petrol should, but for diesel is
Yes,
higher
diesel
concern.
is higher concern because, like I've explained, of
Yes.
the modern
That
technologies
is there.
and the emission. The problem with the sulfur itself, it majorly affects DPF,
Yes.
which is a diesel particulate filter.
Yes.
Normally affects the catalytic converter. Normally affects the oxygen sensors. It forms a coat. And besides that, like for the DPF, I know you may be asking how do they connect?
Yes.
So we have that sulfuric ash that is produced. So it normally finds its way in the DPF. Then it, of course, clogs it.
So what do we do? What are we meant to do? Like people, we forget.
Yes.
Is it service that is meant to be more frequent?
Yes.
What should happen? And what are the things we need to look at? Tell me about the petrol. What petrol cars? What should we be looking at or be more concerned? What parts are we focusing on when we are going for a service?
When it comes to the aspect of sulfur pollution in vehicles, I think besides the primary service, you should also do the performance service. Performance service is where you're now checking the critical inner parts of the engine. So that basically means opening the engine, checking like whatever kind of damage that might, because like I mentioned, it starts like a cancer inside.
Yeah.
So you have to deal with the inside. So it's quite expensive, unfortunately. But if taken care of like that, if you do a performance service, if you do a primary service and add a performance service, you're going to be at least on the right side.
So how often am I doing this performance service?
As well, I would say as often as possible, probably after every like 4,000, 5,000 kilometers. Yeah, if you're used to doing your service after maybe 8,000, 9,000 kilometers, you should now probably purpose to do it sooner. The sooner, the better. Because you see what this does, if you let your car have that content inside for a longer time, it goes eating it. It goes eating it. Like having cancer and not doing anything about it. The cancer becomes more severe over a period of time. But if you go doing your treatments, your chemo, you try to at least kill the severeness of how the cancer actually eats you up.
Performance service.
It's called a performance service.
All right. I hope everybody has taken note of that. When you go to your mechanic, let him explain to you more about performance service. This is a term we need to live by, use as we are getting our cars checked, just to ensure that at least they live longer.
Correct.
Yeah, from what I'm hearing. Thank you for even how you've explained it, comparing it to cancer. Wow, interesting. So let's move on from that. So that's issue number one. Then there's issue number two. Floods. Our country, unfortunately, our planning has not been the best. So recently we had floods, and this has affected cars. What do you think? Because this may happen again. In this day and age, weather patterns are, here nor there. What are some of the things we need to? Let's start with people who have combustion cars. What are some of the safety measures we need to apply? Even after a flood, what are some of the things we need to check for? Is there anything we can do about this?
Well, the first obvious solution to that is try to live in an area that floods don't actually come up and cause severe damage.
Yeah.
But assuming you've built your own house, of course, telling such a person to actually shift and move to a less floody area is quite impossible.
Yeah.
So what I would say is, assuming you found yourself in a situation where your car was actually submerged in the floods,
Yes.
the first thing is don't try to start the car. That is probably what one mistake people do. You see, the moment a vehicle has been submerged, a vehicle is basically a computer.
Yeah.
Most of these parts, they're basically computers. We have a lot of modules, we have a lot of sensors, we have a lot of computers in the vehicle.
Yeah.
The moment water gets in, we know electricity. You see that even if that battery actually provides voltage for the vehicle. So we have electricity running in the car. So the last thing you want to do, even in your own home, when you find water, like let's say above the sockets and all that, is try to put the socket on, because you're basically igniting. You're making things worse. So the moment you found your car in a flood scenario, just call a flatbed, find a way of putting it over a flatbed, and please don't have it towed. There's towing and there's putting it on a flatbed and taking it to a proper service area. When it goes to a proper service area, if you did not get to a point where you tried to start the car and all that, damage won't be as much. So we have most mechanics actually, who we'd call professional mechanics, know what to check for. When you take a car and explain to them that my car was in a flood scenario, they know what to do. So it's like the first aid on the vehicle. They know what first aid to carry on that car. So of course they will start by disconnecting the major computers that would initially be damaged if you tried to power these components, and water is part of. And you see, floods affect all cars. Whether your car is a combustion car, whether your car is a hybrid car, whether your car is a fully electric car, floods affect all these cars the same. So I'm not saying that the only people who should not start their cars during a flood are people who have hybrid cars or electric cars. Even if you have a combustion car, don't think your car is waterproof. So if you're in a flood scenario, just don't power your car. Look for a flatbed, take it to a dry area, a dry, safe area, and take it to these people who are experts and they know what to do in such a scenario when they've received a car that's a victim of flooding.
So let's say you just drove through the flood.
Yes.
Should you still have concerns? Like many of us found ourselves stuck.
Yes.
And it was flooded.
Yes.
And we got home.
Yes.
The following day, should I have a concern? Is there something I need to do?
I think you should definitely have a concern. So you see what happens? Floods, like I mentioned. So we have floods that would come in and completely damage your car in an instance. And we have the kind of floods that you will go through and think that you've been able to overcome it. But maybe this water was able to get into parts that it was not supposed to. For example, let's say if you have a 4x4, water might have seeped through the differentials. So in the differentials, we have the diff oil. So you see, anytime oil mixes with air, you basically tamper with the oil's viscosity. That viscosity is important. That's why that oil is made to be viscous for a reason. It lubricates. The moment water gets in, it dilutes the viscosity. It becomes lighter. So now you find that metal, you see, these are, in the differential, we have metal that normally goes and rubs into each other. So the moment there is no the viscosity is not right, that means that now metal starts to rub against each other, and that causes a problem. We have the gearbox oil underneath. Most of these parts are normally underneath. If water seeps into the gearbox oil, it does the same. Gears normally like to be lubricated. The moment water gets in, you've basically polluted that gearbox oil. That also needs to be checked. These are things that people take for granted. You see the bearings where the wheels normally move. You see, we normally have grease. The moment water goes there, you find that if you went through like a whole, let's say a big distance where it was flood water definitely seeped in areas where it was not supposed to, especially water that is above the wheel level. So I would advise anyone who found themselves in a flood situation, even if your car was able to wade through,
navigate through,
and it went on the other side and you continue driving, please just take it to a motor vehicle expert. Let them just check it. Checking it, you'd rather,
general service.
You'd rather just spend like 5,000 or even 10 to have someone just check your problem instead of spending over 100,000 in damages. Let's say 3 months later, and maybe had you just spent this 10K, you'd have avoided the 100K in service, maybe 3 months later. So anything to do with floods, I would urge anyone with a car to take it seriously.
There you have it, guys. We have tackled issues to do with the sulfur in the fuel. We've talked about the floods, and I believe now you're equipped. So for more, I'm sure you have more questions. Please, kindly, let's see them coming on the comment section, and we'll be sure to give you a response at our soonest. So we'll take a slight break, and we'll be back. I hope you're enjoying the conversation. Please take a moment, refill your tea, your coffee, and I'll see you shortly. Welcome back. Thank you for having patience with us as we go through this very interesting conversation. We're going to dive back into it. And Kelvin, I know this is relative, but the cost of fuel has gone off the roof. It's at an all-time high. And we need to start, what can we tell our audience about this? I mean, of course, there are people who this is not an issue, but how can somebody start to think with how this fuel issue is going? What advice, what guidance can you give to our audience?
Fuel price issues, these are not problems that we can say that we can finish. These are problems that will keep recurring.
Yeah.
So it is a matter of us to find a way of how we can positively adapt to this problem. So one way would be like it has been the trend in our showroom. We've had these people who have these very big engine vehicles like the V8s, you see these 3,000 cc's and above,
yeah.
even 2,000 sometimes. They are coming for smaller capacity vehicles, smaller engine capacity vehicles.
Okay.
If you have a V8, you need to move from your house to the mall, which is a distance of like, I don't know, maybe 1 kilometer. Why would you be using your 4.6 liter V8? Well, you could just maybe buy a small hybrid vehicle
Okay.
or a small electric car that you can be using for small town errands and save your very big engine for maybe long distance travels and all that.
Yeah.
So that is one way. You can downsize your engine. We're not exactly telling vehicle enthusiasts, because I know what it means to have a big engine.
Yes.
So I'm not telling you to sell your car. I'm just asking you to probably consider buying
additional.
something. Yeah, something smaller, something more comfortable, something that is more fuel efficient.
Okay.
For example, we have the likes of the Nissan Note
Note
e-Power.
e-Power, yeah.
They perform quite well in terms of fuel
Performance is
economy.
good, yeah.
We have this new entrant called the Toyota Race.
Yes,
It's
yes.
also a very nice vehicle to actually have if you want to preserve your fuel.
Yeah.
We have the Suzuki Jimny. We have these many cars. We have the Nissan Leaf, which is a full electric car.
Yeah.
If you're buying a mid-range SUV, we have the Mitsubishi Outlander 5, which actually has a charging system and an engine. So
Okay.
you can use electricity, you can use the engine. You see, the best way would be to look for ways to actually counter these problems.
But somebody who is beginning their journey and is more reserved about this cost of fuel, it basically makes sense just to dive into it and buy themselves a hybrid.
Buy a hybrid
Or
car.
an
And I know
electric
most
car.
people are normally kind of insecure
About the hybrid, especially
hybrid
about like the
cars.
battery. You
Yeah,
know.
people, you see, these are technologies that have been tested in first world countries and they have been approved. I can bet that the testing there is more vigorous than the kind of testing that we would probably have in our continent.
Kelvin, but you know those cars have been tested in places where the roads are good. Taximan asked me the other day, we had floods. If he had a hybrid, would it have struggled? Would he have had to replace the battery? You know, these are honest concerns.
You see, the thing is, even hybrid cars, nobody said that hybrid cars cannot perform in a situation where it's raining. Let's say there's a heavy downpour. When you drive your cars, when the wheels rotate, the amount of water that is splashed, if there was to have any kind of leakage happening, it
Yes,
would happen
it
even
would
at that
happen
particular time.
nonetheless, yeah.
These batteries are normally tested and sealed. By the time we consume those vehicles here, we are consuming the product of what has already happened in these first world countries. So these cars are well insulated, they're well tested. It's only that sometimes they normally succumb to extreme. You see, like for example, if water comes and carries your car away, it will definitely seep through areas that it's not supposed to. But when your car is running on a road, naturally, the way the car has been designed to run without water getting into the cabin, then the car should definitely be fine.
There you have it. Let's have people starting to think about buying optional cars, enable them to save on the cost of fuel, hybrid cars as well. Great, thanks, Kelvin. Now, just finally, as we are closing on this,
Yeah.
somebody the other day was complaining. I saw a complaint on social media about they had ordered a car, and here it has also happened here that people order cars, but the quotation you give them and when it arrives here is different. Please demystify. Let us know what goes on there.
Correct. We've been having that as a challenge. Considering Croton Motors is a net importer of vehicles, that is our core business.
Okay.
So we normally import on behalf 90% of the times.
Kelvin, what happens?
So what normally happens is you find a situation where we already have been given a tabulation that we need to work with when we want to give a client a quotation for a particular car that we are importing, let's say from Japan.
Yeah.
This tabulation we normally get from the tax authority. Basically, for the past 3 months, we've been having a situation where we are using this tabulation to calculate the duties and the total costing for the client.
Yeah.
You find that once the vehicle gets to the port, all the other parts of the quotations are correct. The CIF bit is correct. Every other bit is correct, apart from the import taxes. So the import taxes, as we know, is something that is regulated basically by the government through the tax authority. We have been having some sort of confusion because you see the tax authority has given us a tabulation to work with. When this car arrives, they basically check it out and they're like, no, this car is supposed to be paid this amount in duty.
Done, yeah.
So now most clients normally you see clients keep wondering. You see at first most clients don't understand that this is a problem that stems from the tax authority. So some clients have been coming, maybe they think it's the dealership that has just decided overnight that we now want to collect more money from our clients. But fortunately, the government normally finds a way of communicate. The tax authority actually communicates the exact duty payable to the client. So regardless of whether they have maybe inflated the duty by, let's say, 200K, 300K, they will actually send you a message telling you that this is the amount of taxes that you need to pay.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you just need to pay. There's no way around it.
So what can we do about this? Is there any measure we can take? Should we know in advance? Should we expect it?
So unless the tax authority comes out and just gives us one tabulation that is uniform, that we can work with so that we can be able to safeguard the interests of our clients, the best thing to do is just to be open-minded that currently, the way things are, it is possible that your duty can actually change based on the calculations that were done from the tabulation that was given by the same tax authority.
Do you think you can give estimates when somebody's buying a car? You can give them a buffer.
It is very hard, but what probably I know is that most of the cars that are being targeted are, you see these very high-end cars. If you bring a high-end car, 90% chance is that it will have a duty recall.
So this is for specifically high-end cars.
Yes, but also I'm not saying that the other cars are not affected as well.
Yeah.
But majorly what I've observed is that the unique-looking cars have been the biggest victims. However, every person who is looking to import a car now, just have it in mind that your duty may change. So it is up to you to liaise with your dealer or the person who is actually handling your import about how much tentatively do they estimate that the duty may go up with.
It's never down.
Well, there are some that actually are going down. Very few are actually going down.
Okay.
But I think this is just subject to discussing with your importer and having them just give you an idea so that even as you plan, you can plan for that allowance.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There you have it. Kelvin, we have listeners who have been watching our episodes consistently. What do we have for them that they have stayed till this very end? Is there something you Croton Motors is giving our audience?
So this is to anyone who's watching, that if you come and purchase a vehicle through Croton Motors, whether it is through watching this link, actually, the link that will actually be posted, whether it is through watching our videos and all that, if you come and just come directly and tell us that you actually learned about Croton Motors through our content, for the vehicle that you consider, we shall be happy to do the first service for you for free. And by first service, we always do genuine parts in our servicing. So we're not just telling you that because we are going to just do any kind of service. We shall do a proper service for your vehicle. And above that, we shall also give you a 6 months or 10,000 kilometers warranty on any vehicle of choice.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's been amazing hanging out with you guys and having these conversations going on. And you had some of the cars that were mentioned by Kelvin, and one that was mentioned was the Toyota Race. Please stay tuned to Croton Motors. Subscribe to our page because we're going to be taking you through a car review coming very soon for those who have an interest in some of these vehicles. I personally like what the Toyota Race is doing. So it's been an honor. It's kwaheri from me and my friend Kelvin. Anything you want to tell the audience?
Come to Croton Motors and get your vehicle of choice.
You got it.
Happy to serve you.
Asanteni sana. We'll see you in the next.